Essen. What up, everyone? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Where to start? Where to start? Let's start right here. Let's start with the stochastic chart. All right. First off, this is a really clean chart in my opinion. I mean, there's obviously some other significant levels here I'll be paying attention to. If we got this low, I'd certainly be interested in this if we got there. But just because that box isn't there doesn't mean that these two lines aren't important. So first off, let's talk about under a symmetrical meme line, whatever you want to call it. Retested it, came back down, had some pretty ugly 5-day closes here. Even more so if you go over here to the 5-day over here, and I got rid of the 200s real quick. 200 EMA is the orange and the 200 MA is the red. But if we just got rid of that, we got rid of some drawings here, and we talked about the 5-day trend and how important this 5-day trend really is when it comes to where we started and where we are at now. And with that being said, when we started this, we crossed it bullish. We broke out here shortly after the FTX collapse. We crossed this bullish, yellow above blue, 21 EMA above the 50 EMA, showing a pretty good flow here. Got really tight here right before August of last year, about a year ago, and then we've moved. So here we are a year later. We're actually at the exact same point, except the difference is between 1 year and 2 years here is that this year, okay, bottom to top, right? This year we are well under the cross and crossing it. You could see how close they got. We spent some time under the 50 MA, got really tight, but even when you take away the candles, fam, if you try to sit here and tell me that this is important, it is. History doesn't lie. Back here a year ago, we got very, very tight, never crossed bullish. Never crossed bearish, should I say. 21 EMA never came down. They saved it. They knew what they were doing here. Nice manipulation until we broke out. And what people think here, it's interesting to me. What people think here is this is the bull run starting, right? We got our first leg up. We're making a base. Gonna spend another leg going up. Now, I would argue, all right, that right now it doesn't look like the bottom is in. I have a lot of things that tell me this, but first off, this 5-day cross, it's crossed. They can come up, test the cross. That means they can go up to 59K. But realistically, even if they went up to 59K, let's take away this here, pull up our drawings. Even if they went up to 59K, 58, 59K, that is resistance here, okay? You can see how we consolidated. Here's some good 5-day candles, right? It's 5-day support, 5-day resistance. We made some nice swing fill pattern. We made a swing fill pattern here. We made that a new range, swing fill pattern here. There's this manipulation between the 5-day ranges is pretty clean, but you can see how these levels are respected. Again, we had a swing fill pattern right here at the end at 69K last top. All right, but this is 5-day support at 63.500, right? Until we get above that 63.500, there's really no reason to get euphoric and bullish, fam. And that's just, the TA doesn't lie. We have that 5-day cross there as well. So again, they could come up here, wick above, maybe even get, up to 63K before going down lower. But regardless, they have crossed this. This trend has been going since 20K. And I expect a bigger move down, some type of consolidation accumulation before move up, fam. I don't expect a V reversal. This was your V reversal chance. And now we're making another lower low on the 5-day, which does not look great at all. We also had a 3-day close today. We're well above under the 21 EMA on the 3-day here. We got low volatility on this 3-day, so we're still compressing on this move down right here. So we've been compressing since we go up here, expansion on the volatility, and then compressed down. So we're still compressing, which tells me We have not found a bottom yet. We also had the weekly close, definitely important here. Now this is where things kind of get interesting, fam, because if you go to the weekly chart and you see how they can kind of manipulate this, let's say we're over here on this kind of right shoulder that we are making here on this head and shoulders before 69K. They had I'm gonna get rid of the drawings real quick. They had a candle close here, not the most bullish candle here, right below that 21 EMA. Then they had a little red candle, green candle. So they worked it sideways here until finally that weekly crossed. Definitely another possibility, right? We could sit here and work it sideways here before crossing down or making possible bullish move up. But with everything I see out there, fam, and I'm talking about there's lots of variables I won't necessarily go over to today. We have not hit a bottom yet. All right. So definitely can work sideways here between that 52K, 58, 59K area. Just look at that 5-day that we're talking about over here. History doesn't lie. These 5-day lines are really, really clean, in my opinion, but I think we need to hit lower. And the area I'm really eyeing for some type of grab of long, some type of range accumulation consolidation would definitely be that 40 to 47K area. This is a really clean box for me. If things got really, really bearish, obviously we'd be looking even lower than that in this box right here, which is the 30 to 35K box. But for now, can't fade this level. This will be a major reaction here, but no demand right now, fam. We have major selling going on, unfortunately, across all markets. Everything, like I said, if we go over here and let's check out a variable I like to talk about. But US, this is if you guys don't know, this is the United States money supply. This is the Federal Reserve savings account, fam. Right now, if you didn't know, I'm not sure if everybody necessarily lives in the States or not. In Canada, you pick up on all this news. But this chart goes back to 1960, okay? This is only allowed in the monthly time frame, so we are looking at a monthly time frame. This is the Federal Reserve savings account, all right? Right now, savings accounts are lowest they've been in decades for consumers. We're talking about middle class in the United States, as well as debt is higher, the highest it's been in decades. So if you take just those two variables alone, we're just talking about the consumer savings and the consumer's debt. That tells me that people aren't taking these huge risks, okay, with what little money they have. All right. And the reason I have to bring this up, fam, is because for us to have a bull market, you need demand. Okay. Unfortunately, this is the world. This is the United States savings account. And as you can see here, here's the monthly 21 EMA and 50 EMA. All right. Here we are. We're just climbing and we've kind of been flatlining, right? We have been printing a little bit of money lately. We've actually started printing money November 2023. Okay. Yeah, actually, really, let's see. If we look at government print, this is the money printer, fam. Okay, imagine that. October 28th, 2023. So right after Hamas attacked Israel, right? Ironically, we started printing money again. Okay, so we had this steady decline right after we continue to contribute to a war we should not be contributing to, a war that no one has business even starting. That's when the money printer came back on. But the point being here, if you look at money supply, this is again the United States savings account, fam. Just like I was telling you, the consumer savings account is low. The United States savings account is pretty low here, fam. In fact, this 21 EMA and the 50 EMA has never crossed since it's never crossed, okay? In the history that we have here, this chart goes back to 1960 again. In the history here, we got really, really tight. In fact, I think this is a good time to look. When we got really, really tight here, fam, all right? We got really, really tight here. We were tighter now than we were in the 1995. but we turned on the money printer and we printed more money, right? This is all inflation that you're looking at, fam. This is essentially an inflation chart. When that money printer goes on, we print more money, and everything that you know gets more expensive, and your dollar gets devalued. Okay. And now the dollar is the peg of the world, fam. That means that, you know, no matter where you are in the world, you are being affected by this money printer. Now, when we talk about the money printer, the government savings account, I think it's important to understand when there's less money available, there's more than likely less money available at the consumer level. I started this point out with saying the consumer level facts right now. The consumer in the United States has lower savings, and we can just bring this up over here. Let me go ahead and U.S. savings accounts consumer reports. Right? Hold on. I'm not gonna be able to find this. The personal saving or AI got an answer from me. The personal saving rate in the United States has been low in recent years, and some say it's the lowest it's been in decades. Okay. And so this is Chat AI. I think this is good source right here. Save less after each recession than they did before. The low savings rate can be put households in a vulnerable position, especially those with low incomes. It says, however, savings interest rates are at a 15-year high. But savings interest rates are at a 15-year high, fam, and people's savings are at decades low. Okay, the lowest they've been in decades, right here. There's articles out there, right here. It's going to see savings account, interest history. Americans are saving less these days. Here's why. Aren't saving as much as they used to. USA Facts. So you got lots of sources right here. And then if you go U.S. debt, at all-time highs, and just Google search that. Here we go. All right, so this is interesting too. The United States, let's go ahead and zoom in here. The United States is reaching all-time highs for both national debt and household debt. So again, my point being is people don't have much money. Not only that, they owe more money than they have in a long time. We have one of the most bearish charts for crypto ever. All right, for crypto ever. All right, so this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has enjoyed this amount of time in the market. All right, it has never seen such low amount of money supply. Okay, in an overall kind of picture, all right, it's never seen such low amount of money supply. So if they don't come up with a reason to turn on the money printers, kind of COVID-esque like, right? This is COVID. Boom. Printed all that money. This is COVID, right? Boom. You had this explosion of money. Then I don't see a reason why there'll be a high demand in Bitcoin. Now, going over here to the chart, let's go to some bigger time frames. We're going to get rid of, let's go to this one. This is the monthly. All right. This is a really good one too. So let's talk about the monthly, all right? The monthly has a nice little trend line. All right, let's use that trend line. Let's get rid of our EMA and MA. Still bleeding down here. We have an engulfing monthly. This engulfing monthly closed under the previous lows here, right? So that's pretty bearish right there. Under 60K monthly is pretty bearish. You know, don't need to be a genius to look at this chart and know that that's pretty bearish right there. It did hold, let's see here, high or close of 58,783. Let me see where this closed. Low 58,783. So it did close a little bit above this one. That's not too bad, but regardless, we got this nice little meme line here, and I can see us coming down and hitting that 47K. I would definitely be interested if we had some type of aggressive V reversal here in the market overall, at least for a good dead cat bounce before we could possibly go lower. We could also hit that low right there, hit this low at 47K and sweep the highs at that point and then pummel, right? That would definitely fake people out, make a giant monthly McDonald's chart. But regardless, with inflation, with interest rates, the pivot, with the money supply being very low, fam, there's no reason to be impatient here and FOMO into a spot play. That's my honest opinion. I don't think you need to be accumulating spot at this time. Just kind of you can start a DCA strategy. Technically, there's no such thing as starting a DCA strategy or timing the start of a DCA strategy. A dollar cost average strategy, fam, because I get this question a lot. A dollar cost average strategy means you're buying the same amount over the same time interval, no matter what the price is. So when someone's like, should I start a DCA strategy now? I go, well, a DCA strategy technically never stops, right? So when you start a DCA strategy, sure, you can start a DCA strategy at 55K, but technically when you start a dollar cost average strategy, you're not going to stop that strategy because that's the whole point of dollar cost averaging. Does that make sense? If I say I'm going to spend $50 a month on buying Bitcoin starting right now at 55K, then that means I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to put $50 in Bitcoin every single month starting this month. All right? That's a dollar cost average strategy. It's not an on off switch. That's not my strategy. That's definitely the easy way strategy, the simplest strategy. Technically, most people do get out of, get into a profit with that strategy, at least for stock market purposes, as long as you hold. But right now, fam, I think it's dangerous variables are at play. I showed you the money supply. Let's go over here to stochastic and talk about the 10-day. I think that's a really good one as well. Let's talk about the 15-day, okay? 15-day closes in 3 days. All right. This chart right here is a really good chart. All right. I'm going to get rid of all the drawings, but this on my system, all right, we got expansion. Ooh, wrong chart. This on my system is a very good signal. All right. We got the 15-day. We have a pivot and we have expansion. So this really does tell me there's a chance that we could dump in the next 3 days. I really think that we can dump hard in the next 2 or 3 days. I don't think this is done. The way this 15-day is right now, we have a pivot here. We expanded. The overall expansion hasn't happened, so we're still kind of compressing underneath this. Here's expansion, compression, that'll make sense. But within that compression, we have also kind of an expansion going on here. All right, so there's going to be a point where this line breaks the top line. Let's make that line yellow. There's going to be a point where that yellow breaks. That's going to be the move out, whether it's going to be down or up on volatility. This is a neutral variable, so you really have to use experience. It's not accurate if you're just guessing. Like this pivot right here doesn't tell me if this is bullish or bearish. You kind of have to watch the candles, know what you're looking at. But a flat 15-day like this, unless they can pump it over 59K in the next 3 days, over 59K, we've been using that same number, 58, 59K, still there, 5-day range high. Unless they can pump it over 59K in the next 3 days, we're certainly, in my opinion, going to continue to go lower. Probably hit that 47K for a dead cat bounce. We're going to have to see where that dead cat bounce goes. I'd be willing to play that, maybe even for a spot swing. But yeah, again, there's a lot of things, fam. I don't think there's a reason to be super excited. Now, let's go down to lower time frames here. I think it's important to see what happened over the weekend. Let's go over here to the 2 hour. Actually, I really like the chart now. 2 hour, okay? 2 hour here, volatility's okay. This 2 hour is trying to cross. We actually haven't had the 2 hour trend bullish since 63.4. So if they have the ability not just to break over, but cross this bullish and keep price action going above, not making another lower high, then certainly that's a good look. Under this, so we have some room to chop, have some room to break out. So under this meme line for now. How does Soul look? Yeah, I'll get to Soul. Soul is taking the market down, fam. Soul will be the dagger in the coffin. They're only holding this here because they're distributing Soul. All right, this is very similar look that they had in December 2021. Now, just because I'm comparing this to December 2021 when they distributed Ethereum above 4K, like they're distributing Solana above 120, doesn't mean that it's we're entering a bear market. It just means that I think that there's a one more big move down to a lower range where we're going to spend some more time accumulating for a month or two, month and a half or two, and then I'd be willing to bid. That's simply what I'm saying. I'm not some doom poster saying that there's not going to be a bull market. I just simply don't think that the lows are in. I'm not going to be sitting here and be one of those clowns that's going to call, hey, this is the low. We're going to Valhalla from here, because I don't think that there's anything that shows that. There's a lot of evidence out there that actually shows the opposite, that there's way more selling. There's a lot of supply up here and they're distributing. So we have to get to a point where demand exceeds supply. All right. We're not there yet. We're just not there yet. It's not that I don't think, I believe we are not there yet. I strongly believe that. All right, let's go to Soul here. Sure, I'm on the right chart. All right, Soul, this is a sloppy chart here. All right, so let's go actually to Soul Bitcoin. I think Soul Bitcoin. All right, Soul Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, Soul Ether. All right. Solana Ethereum, all right, fam. So, wow. So I just want to point out, this is an old chart. If you take away this, there's some stream where I showed this, and then it'll take away the EMA and MA. There's one stream where I showed the Ethernet, not Ethernet, Ethereum, excuse me, Ethereum ETF dip, and then Solana rip here on Soul Ether. It doesn't really make too much of a difference that this was accurate. This was really hard to play. Just because this is taking dominance back from Ethereum doesn't mean that we're going to break out at some point. I'm going to break this chart down. I think it's really important to talk about Solana Ethereum and the pair here. So let's leave all that good evidence up. So on the daily chart, we have a 50 MA and 21 EMA hanging right here. We have price action above it. So it's not bearish yet, but overall, right? If we this is going to get sloppy here. We have kind of like a rising wedge, in my opinion. This is a really bad look for Solana Ethereum. This is one of the reasons I'm bearish. We'll go to Soul Bitcoin. All right. So again, Soul Ethereum, we have a daily cross hanging right there. If Solana starts losing, if Solana starts going down against Ethereum, so let's say there's a crazy dump, Solana goes down more than Ethereum, which is very likely because Ethereum's been pulling back a lot. This daily would cross bearish, and this structure would break down. All right. So we kind of have this rising wedge. Again, this is a sloppy chart on Solana Ethereum, but I'm not going to clean it up for you guys. Don't really care. That's sloppy. We'll clean this one up a little bit. Not sure what those lines are for, but regardless, here's Soul Bitcoin under the meme line here, more or less tapped it. Could have some room to go a little bit further. We have a God candle coming on the daily. So Soul Bitcoin, Soul is either going to run against Bitcoin or it's going to run back when Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going to take some dominance from it. The reason I know that is because the daily is very, very low off of two flats. This tends to mean there's going to be a move today. I can't tell you what the move is. Again, this is a neutral variable. I would love to be able to tell you what the move is, but overall, if you look like again, like you look at this chart, this is CVD for Solana. Actually, this is a better chart. Here's CVD for Solana. We have a nice compression. This compression, what does this compression tell us? All right. So we have a compression. This is cumulative volume delta. All right. So what does it mean? It's like buys and sell. It's the buy and sell meter. It's more buys than sells. It's going to be blue. If there's more sells than buys, it's going to be red. On a daily chart, we have this huge compression. And then what happened? We have this huge amount of sells come in, break the compression. So we've already broken out of the compression. And now, so I could argue since August 2nd, basically, this has been breaking down. And that's what CVD really shows us on Solana Daily. Also sold Bitcoin. This is another one, right? So it was looking strong, had a nice compression here. Let's go to right there. And then you had this huge kind of sell-off against Bitcoin. So Solana really lost a lot of dominance versus Bitcoin, and hence why this has broken out. That happened around August 2nd as well. And then sold dominance, we're not going to look at the CVD as sold dominance. We're going to just look at the normal chart here. Yeah, sold dominance. Let's see how it's looking here on the 5-day. Bring up some EMAs and MAs. Holding on, but again, has compression here. Not a great look. Don't want to see that for sold dominance. And I think one of the bigger moves down, once it happens, once we see this final flush into this lower range for Bitcoin, one of the bigger moves is going to be Solana down. So I've been I set it up there in the Discord, but I think that it's easily a good run. Put your stops here. I really like this short. And I would definitely like to see golden pocket. So TP there, but certainly could run to that 786, which is $97. Really think we could Solana could run pretty deep here. Could go all the way down to this node, which would be around $99. That's kind of like, I think that's your best risk on return. This pattern right here, fam. Okay, this pattern. This isn't a bottom pattern. This is not a bottom pattern for Solana. This is a very bearish pattern. This is them smashing the red button into support. That's what this is. This ugly looking daily chart is them smashing the button. All right, look at this one. What about this one? Nice little pivot. Look at this 3-day. All right, look, I want to show you guys something. This 3-day CVD, look, it's red, right? But they kept it green. They kept it green. So I like the move down in Solana. I think that's the move. Bitcoin probably crashes too. Gonna wrap it up. I feel like I got a little bit off track there. I'm not gonna go over any other coins. I think the best risk on return. So right over there, I got the R&R sign, right? Risk on return, fam. The best risk on return is Solana short. Hands down, fam. Hands down. And then check that reaction at 47. 47 looks really good. It's got that nice little meme line. Set up that meme line for yourself. Walk it sideways over there. And then don't expect this to hold. Maybe a dead cat and then plummet. But until we get above 50, they have 3 days in my mind to get above 59K. 3 days get above 59K, or we're definitely going to 47K. Probably dead cat at 47K and then go lower. Until I see the money printer go back on. I did start with a big argument on that. I have no reason to think that there's going to be this big ass bull run that everyone's expecting, especially for alts, fam. It's like not a good look for alts. Not a good look at all for alts. See, let's end it on the 2-week. Everyone see that 2-week? All right, everyone see the 2-month? Jesus. Come on. Anytime you're below that 2-month 21 EMA, though, that 40K, pretty good. 40K. Look at that 2-week. I mean, come on, fam. The 2-week loss to 21 EMA. If you don't think that 2 weeks important, look at this. How important is that 2-week? How important is that 2-week right there? Okay. Oh, it looks pretty important there. Looks pretty important. Next target, 39K. Fuck around and find out, fam. We don't have to hit the 50 MMA. I'm just joking about 39K. 47K. Long 47K. Could put a swing long 47K. 47K is probably going to drop Solana back down into that new range. The new range for Solana is going to be right here. The new range for Solana. Like, no joke. All right? So that's where we're going. That's where we're going. A lot of confluence there. 47K Bitcoin. Probably like a 75 to $120 range for Solana. All right? Mad love, fam. Mad love. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to make that bread. We're going to make that bread, fam. We're going to make that bread. We're going to make that bread off all those emotions. Okay? Shit's bearish. Shit is bearish as fuck. All I gotta say. Short rips until they reclaim 59K. Short rips. It's the same plan I said last week on Twitter. Short rips until we reclaim 59K. Now we just have a lower invalidation. It's 59K is your invalidation. Until they reclaim 59K, you have no reason to be bullish. No reason. Until Solana reclaims 140, there's no reason to be bullish on that. 58.5. I mean, it's really a 58K invalidation, but if you want to be safe on Bitcoin's 59K. All right, fam. Love ya. Mad love. I'll see you guys all in a week.